If you're not going to go back and play games that came out 20 years ago, you might as well play games that feel like they were made 20 years ago. Because at least games like this will give you fan service and you'll get some, like, decent gunplay and, you know, decent characters. Alright, so the first Descendant is out. And this game, actually, I played the beta for this game before I found out that Snowbreak exists. So now I kind of feel bad that there's, like, 2 third-person shooter sci-fi games that I'm probably not going to have any time to play. I played this game during the beta, and I liked it. And it reminded me a lot of Warframe, which I didn't like. The reason I didn't like Warframe, and I know a lot of, well, I guess people are still playing Warframe. I thought everybody gave up on it. I didn't really like Warframe because I just felt like it was one of those games where, by the way, watch this terrible, like, I completely forgot how to use the grapple in this game. Yeah, I just felt like Warframe was one of those games where all you do is just grind. And that, you know, that could kind of be, you can kind of boil down any game ever and say that it's only about grinding, but it really was on another level with Warframe for me, because every time I picked a Warframe, it turns out it's the worst Warframe ever, and you were supposed to pick a different one, and now you gotta pick that one and start grinding for it. And every time I picked a weapon, it was, hey, you picked the worst weapon, now you gotta find a different one and grind to make it better. And it just felt like every time I needed to grind, and they might have fixed this, they might have streamlined it, but it felt like every time I was supposed to grind for something, I had to go to a different planet and grind to make a module to go to a different planet to grind that planet. The first Descendant is too new for me to say whether or not it's going to become that kind of grindy grind fest, but I liked the time that I spent in the beta, and I didn't get into the preferred creator program at that time, so I wasn't able to actually record any of my gameplay in the beta. Cho and I played the game, and Cho still prefers Warframe, and I never really liked Warframe, so I like this. And this game has fan service, and this game is, you know, that's usually always a plus when a game has fan service. But I felt like this game, the gameplay of it was serviceable, and Bunny is awesome, and it makes all the right people mad. So, you know, basically, if this game looks like one of those old school, like, maybe a game that you would find, you know, in the bargain bin for the PlayStation 2, like one of those, like, hidden gems. Any game that feels like a PlayStation 2 game or a 360 game, I'm gonna immediately like that game more than a modern game. And yes, the graphics for this game are good, but the game just feels like this is another game that feels like it came out during the golden age of the 2000s for gaming. Between the Nikkei summer update and the fact that I still have not even finished any of the content in Wuthering Waves, and Zenless Zone Zero is coming out, I'm actually not really that interested in Zenless Zone Zero. It does not look like or sound like a game made for me. It sounds like it's going to be a game that's mostly about puzzles, and the combat is kind of like whatever. I've heard that the combat is actually like extremely easy, and, you know, for me, I'm the kind of person that I want my game to be a game. I don't want my game to just be something I log in and I, you know, solve a few puzzles and then get off. Like, I don't get the idea. It doesn't sound like a good idea to me to make a gacha game that's mostly about puzzles, but, you know, I mean, there's a market for everyone, I guess. And then none of the characters really jump out at me. I don't really care about Nicole, and then the rest of the characters are for furries. And I guess the one police chick is kind of cool, I guess, but all the characters, like, people said that a lot of the Wuthering Waves characters look alike, and I feel like every character in Zenless Zone Zero looks alike to me. I mean, there's like 2 different animal characters. They both look the same to me. And there's like 2 different maid characters, I think, already in the game. And I'm like, these characters look the same. The game just does not jump out at me at all. And, you know, there's so many games out nowadays, and games like this, like the first Descendant. If you're not going to go back and play games that came out 20 years ago, you might as well play games that feel like they were made 20 years ago. Because at least games like this will give you fan service, and you'll get some, like, decent gunplay and, you know, decent characters. Bunny was awesome. I'm pissed off that I played in the beta and I got Bunny, and now I have to replay all that content. Like, if you play during the beta, they give you, like, 2 emotes. And it's like, yeah, you're welcome. I beta tested your game for you. and you give me 2 emotes, why don't you let me play as Bunny? I unlocked her during the beta. Like, that would be a great way to keep people interested, because now I have to replay the first Descendant all the way up to Bunny, or I can just say, why would I do that? I already did that in the beta. They deleted my progress. I'm going to go play Zenless Zone Zero. Like, it really doesn't make sense. You release your game 2 days before another big game is coming out, and you make people replay content that they already did in the beta. And I don't care if you said up front, hey, you're not going to keep your progress. Maybe try to let people keep their progress. I mean, come on. I mean, they beta test for you, and they like the game enough to unlock, like, the mascot character of the game. The whole reason people are downloading this game is because of Bunny and her Ultra skin, where she shows, ironically, she shows off more skin in her Ultra skin. People are downloading the game specifically for Bunny. They played the beta specifically for Bunny, and now they have to replay everything that they did in the beta to get Bunny 2 days before a whole big new game comes out. Do you think they're going to stick around? Or do you think that they're just going to log in, find out that their progress is gone, and they're just going to say, screw this, I'm just going to go back and play Wuthering Waves, or I'm going to play Zenless Zone Zero? It's a missed opportunity. It was a missed opportunity for them to... They really should have let you keep your progression. I don't know. People are going to say, well, it's hard to do that. Making games are difficult. Well, making good games, I guess, is difficult. But it seems like everybody's making games nowadays, and everybody says making games is difficult. Maybe if it's so difficult, maybe we shouldn't be making all these goddamn games. I mean, don't we have enough? We have hundreds of thousands of games. If we can't make the experience good for people, if we can't keep the player retention, if we offer a beta, people invest their time in it, and then it just gets wiped clean. Like, I don't get closed betas. I don't want to do closed betas for gacha games. I don't want to do closed betas for non-gacha games because of stuff like this. You play it, you give them your time, you beta test, and then they make you play the whole beta all over again when the real game comes out. It's annoying to me, and it just makes me want to go play other games. But then I realize I don't even want to play ZZZ, and I'm gonna have to play a lot of Nikkei if I want to get the new characters in it. So yeah, it kind of sucks not being able to keep your progression in First Descendant. But I think First Descendant overall is going to be good, although it's made by Nexon. So if there's any gambling in this game, do not do it. They screwed us once with Maple Story. They're probably going to screw us again. I would say give First Descendant a try if you want. And if not, go play Snowbreak, because Snowbreak is, or should I say Snow Peak, because that game is insane. That game is awesome. That game is awesome. I think they're adding in a wedding in the game where you can marry 2 of the waifus, and it's canon. So that's what I'm talking about. And, you know, I think games that let you marry multiple of the waifus at the same time, that's a 10 out of 10 game. So if you don't like First Descendant, go play Snow Peak. That's what I think. And don't play Warframe, because Warframe sucks and I hate it.